Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
All right.
President's Day, day after Valentine's.
How's everybody doing? Day after Valentine's Day. Everybody's looking all cute in their red.
Got the red on. We're doing pretty good.
You have your heart ears on.
Yeah. I'm still boo loving.
Oh.
Yes, I am.
How was your Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day.
Yes, I saw yours, Will. You have to go last. Talk about it.
Well, I spent my Valentine's Day loving all on myself.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm okay. It was a good day. Great day. I can't complain.
Good.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Welcome to the chat, where the conversations are unscripted, unfiltered, and uncut. We are still in our Valentine's mode, so we would like to hear from you. We would like to hear where you are from and how was your Valentine's Day. And are you still boo loving today? Are you still boo loving today?
Be honest.
Right. Gifts today? Or did you get your gifts yesterday? Did you get your gifts the 13th? Did you get your gifts on the 14th? Like what day?
Was your significant other busy yesterday? You know. To me and my wife just did a quarantine. I set up a nice little picnic. I had it laid out in front of the TV. I put some some roses, and I had the plate set up. So I cooked breakfast, and I walked her out to it. So she watches The Bachelor. So I had a little card that was like the date thing they do on The Bachelor. And she just loved it. Just for quarantine, she loved it. We didn't have to go nowhere. It was really nice.
Very thoughtful.
I had to do it up this time because we've been stuck in the house.
Right. Chanel, you sound a little low. Can you up your volume just a little?
Let me see.
Okay, it sounds a little better.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Kia said, "I don't want no disconnected ass gifts."
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I thought she said discounted. I'm sorry. She said, "I don't want no discounted ass gifts." Baby.
That's that day of gift when you go to the store and everything marked down.
Yeah, that 50% off.
You gotta go.
Right.
I got you a Snickers.
Right.
All right.
What did you do?
All right, and Will, let's hear all about that Valentine's story.
Wow, we had an intentional Valentine's Day because we had a lecture after Christmas from one of our friends because neither one of our love languages is gifts, so we're fine without exchanging gifts. Ours is mine is acts of service, and I think his is words of affirmation. Okay. So we're fine without giving gifts, but a friend told us that it was too early because we've only been married a year for us not to be. She calls it creating memories, like doing the gifts and doing the all thoughtful things. So we said we were going to intentionally do something for each other for Valentine's Day. But by all means, he won the contest. He created that. My favorite gift is he created a book. And I meant to bring the book. It's like a 45-page book with all these. It's on my Facebook page, but that was one. She got me a bag and some other gifts, but it was just a day full of surprises. It was good. Very, very, very good. Very good. He went out of his way. He won. I almost thought that he did something because I was like, "Did you do something?" Because you feel like I felt like it was just too much for Valentine's Day. But
why?
I don't know.
I'm a hopeless romantic, so I'm not even gonna say why. But
okay. All right. But what did you do?
Well, actually, as you came home, and so I think that I'm sorry. Hold on. It's some background noise coming from somewhere. I'm not sure, but anyway, we actually, as you came home, and I actually cooked, and so we did that. And it was amazing. I love when she comes home. So we cooked, and then we had like a little, all three of us, it was like a little candlelight dinner. So it was like a whole weekend because Walter did his last re-enlistment.
Mm.
Yeah, he did his last minute enlistment, and so it was just a lot to celebrate, a good time. And I worked on Saturday, but we came home. We had our dinner Saturday night, and then she left out on Sunday, and then I just got my mind together because it was some decluttering I needed to do. But I was good with it. I was good with it.
You know what? To your point, Chanel. So we went to the Big Easy, which is one of our favorite restaurants in Norfolk, and it was like really like 90% all black, but it was like 2 tables of like the flyest females, like 3. Like, you could tell they were besties, but it was like an all girls date. Like I was like, this must be like a self love all girls, because they would like dress from head to toe.
Yes.
Taking selfies and everything.
It's called Galentine.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Oh wow! I had never seen it. I was like, oh, they're fly.
The G for the GAL for like your gal friends.
Yeah.
So people celebrate Galentine's Day where ladies just get together with their friends and they practice, self-love or whatever. Something for the single chicks to hold on to.
I don't know why they were single, because they was beautiful. Me and Justin, we were looking. I was like, oh man, they were fly. Yeah.
All righty. So we have so much to get into. If you saw my topic, my messages, it was hot topic after hot topic after hot topic. And we are getting ready to go ahead and get started. And this is a question that is for men. And it is really like a subject that is for anybody who has boys, who has sons, nephews, grandsons. I mean, it's really for everybody, but this story comes from a guy, and it is very intense. It is very it's just a lot. Like it's a lot. So you just and I'm going to paraphrase it because it's a lot. If you can see, it is a lot in it. But anyway, so basically it's this gentleman. He is 26 years old. He has a friend that he's acquaintances with, and we're gonna call him A, Anthony. He's acquaintances with B, Brittany. Okay, we're gonna call her Brittany. Him and Brittany kind of just knew each other throughout school or whatever, and then they became Brittany. So since like 5th grade, Brittany was dating this one guy all the way up from like elementary school, middle school, through high school, on through college. She was dating C, Carlos. We're gonna call him Carlos. All right. So we got Anthony, Brittany, and Carlos. A, B, and C. All right. So Brittany is dating Carlos, and when she goes to college, she meets back up with Anthony. Brittany and Carlos split up, but Carlos is kind of possessive a little bit, just a little on the crazy side or whatever. But anyway, they split up. Brittany starts dating David. Okay. Carlos ends up shooting David in the back and kills him. Carlos goes to jail. Anthony and then Brittany start getting reacquainted, and they start dating. Come to find out, Brittany and Carlos had intercourse when they were like 15, 16 years old. And he told her, like, this is mine. Like, if you ever give your body to anybody else, I will kill them. And so when he went to jail for killing David, he sent her a letter and said, didn't I tell you that I was going to kill him? Anybody that you was going to be with, didn't I tell you that? So Anthony is now scared because he's like, I really like her. And when we had sex, I understood and I understand why Carlos was acting the way that he was acting, and I'm scared and I don't want to be Carlos. Do I need to leave her alone, pack up my stuff and move away? Because that is the only way that I am going to be able to get my mind right and not act the way that Carlos did. So Carlos is in jail, David is dead, and Anthony is tripping hard. And Carlos and Anthony are just gone off her energy. So my question is, when you are having the talk with your children, because it's always praise when boys lose their virginity and it's like, yay, get it gone. There is a certain amount of conversation that goes beyond, don't bring no babies in this house. Carlos is not getting out of jail. He went to jail for murder. No, he's in jail. He ain't getting out. He killed the guy that she slept with. No, he's not getting out of jail. So this conversation needs to go far beyond, you can bring babies home and you can get a disease and all this. When I was just blown away. And the story is so much deep. I mean, like the way that he put it and phrased it was so much deeper than I could ever put it. But I was just astonished at the fact that it was a guy and he basically was like, do I need to pack up my stuff and leave? Do you know what kind of stuff you got to be getting if you say, I need to? Do you know what kind of sex? Do you understand? Like that's like being able to go to any Food Lion that you want and Wegmans. Like it's only one Wegmans and it has all the specialty stuff. You understand? Like versus right? Versus there's a Food Lion on every corner. Like, do you know how, like, what kind of energy that is to make somebody say, I will kill somebody over having sex with you? Like, Will, what is why are you looking like that?
When you say energy,
I need y'all to remark. Like this is
I can say some stuff like that. I probably have.
Okay, let me make sure I'm following.
When you invested your love, your sacrifice, your commitment, when you yourself could have done other things, that could be a situation where either whether you mean it or not, it may come out your mouth. So when you say energy, I don't know. I mean, is energy mean your love or what?
Well, this is okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Shamika. So what I figured out when I read the story is that this girl and this guy they started dating at a very young age. They dated for a long time. So at one point after college, they broke up. But before then, he told her, hey, if you ever date anybody else, I'm going to kill them.
Yes.
So after they broke up and she started dating someone else, he actually shot that person in the back and killed that person.
Yes. Yes.
And he went to jail for murder for life.
Yes.
So now she's dating a new guy. He knows about this story.
Yes.
And now that he has been intimate with her, he comes like, yo, I understand. I understand why
Carlos
is in jail because I'm now feeling the same way now that I've been with her. Like, is this
I was trying to avoid that.
Because I feel like if I catch her with somebody else, even if we break up, then I'm a kill dude, just like the dude in jail did. So he was asking a question as to, okay, now that I have these feelings, I know that someone else has had these feelings. What do I do now? Do I love her? I want to marry her. We vibe on all these different levels. What should I do? Should I leave her alone because these feelings are kind of like creeping me out? They're unhealthy.
Yes.
Or am I overreacting? That is what he was asking. So I think what he's saying is she got the bomb.com.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Right. That is my point. So my point is not when you're having that sex talk with your children, are you talking about that? Because when I talked to my daughter, it wasn't about you. I mean, I said you could bring babies home, but I talked to her about energy, feelings, how certain people are in bed, what they come. It just because they're having sex with you or whatever the case may, it doesn't mean they like you. It doesn't mean that. It could mean that somebody taught them well. And not only is he doing it to you, he could be doing it to 3 other girls. Like it's just the energy that somebody brings, or they're even just the energy. And when I say energy, I mean like their sex. Like it's just they've given you some stuff that you ain't never ever 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 felt. And especially when you're a virgin and you're not, somebody literally turns you out, and it's like
because he's been turned out, and he's like, should I leave her?
Yes. Because she
Should
was
I
like,
save myself? Basically.
yes.
The thing is that he starts off saying that he's had sex before. This one isn't the virgin. The first guy who killed somebody and went to jail was the virgin.
I think he was. I think he was the virgin.
I know. I think he was based on what he's saying, but I do think it's important to have that conversation. And for me, you know, I was told like, hey, you know, the P word is good, you know, but that's not what you should be looking for. Like if that's what you're chasing,
Yeah, I think it's more.
you know, like it's not, then nothing is going to come from that at the end of the day. Like you're not going to be able to build a relationship off of that.
Yeah.
I don't, but it's not even that. Like, it's just, okay. Let me turn this story into this. Had a young lady come to me, was telling me about this guy that she was with. Okay. And she was like, you know, when I was with him, like he picked me up and he was like, hold on. And he was doing this and doing that. And then she was like, but he doesn't want to be in a relationship. Some other girl is chasing him, but he's like, he don't want to be with her like that. And I was like, okay. So she started to get in her feelings. And I'm like, why are you in your feelings? Because she just kind of like was online seeing him pictures of other people, whatever. And I'm like, why are you in your feelings? And she was like, because, you know, and I'm like, but he already told you he didn't want to be in a relationship with nobody like that. So why are you in your feelings? And so she was like, I don't know. I was like, he doesn't, I'm sorry. And I hate to be like that. He doesn't like you like that. He doesn't like you. That's why he's dating other people. But he didn't been with somebody, or somebody that taught him, or he didn't learn how to give a person what it is that he wants to give them. He has learned how to make you feel the way that you want to feel or need to feel, whether he is with you or not. That does not compute to he likes you. It means that he's been taught well. Somebody has taught him well. Or he's taught himself.
Well, are y'all trying to communicate that is 100%? This is all about sex? Like it's not this total package, or what?
No, what I am saying is a person's sex can be very strong. And
you ain't got to tell me that. I think it's some of the best sex that's out here, but I'm saying I ain't never had it or given it to the point where somebody will say they're gonna kill somebody.
Right.
I can feel a total package. Like you treat me good, the sex is good, the food is good, our time is good, and you say, "Oh yeah, I'll kill a nigga over you." But because you put it down like that, that's a crazy bitch right there. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not. I got to step out that conversation. I don't understand it.
I think it was clear from the story.
I am never. But if it ever come to the point where I'm like, I'm looking for you in the daytime with a flashlight, I got to go. That is what you call a one-hit wonder.
That good.
That's a one-hit wonder, honey. Once you get that, that's a one-hit wonder. You do not double back. If he got you like, okay, where he at, where he going, and you see him with somebody else, and you get all in your feelings, even if it's a guy and a girl got you like that, you need to leave. But all I'm saying is these are conversations that need to go deeper than what you just saying to your child. Don't bring no babies in here. It's not about that. It's a matter of you getting a hold of some penis or some vagina that's going to turn your whole world upside down, and you walking around mad at everybody because they didn't win on and they didn't have. No, that's all. That's what I'm saying. That's my point right there. Okay.
Yeah, but remember, in this story, he said that he's been with her 2.5 years. They have a wonderful relationship, and he's just afraid of how he's feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just crazy. Honestly, with that in particular, just with the story, you know, he clearly was only talking about the sex. And I mean, now maybe there are some other stuff, but the way, and he made it seem like the last guy was also in it for the sex as well. So, I mean, if it's that good, fine. But yeah, he should definitely move on and find somebody else.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it scared me. Like I was scared for him because this was not a story that was coming from a woman. It was a story that was coming from a guy. So I felt a little more, like I felt like, man, like he's scared. He's scared for his life. And then after being with this young lady, he's like, okay, why am I having these feelings? Why am I having these thoughts? But I'm just saying, when you're having these conversations with your children, like those are the things to me that you need to, it needs to go beyond. It needs to go beyond. Don't bring any baby. Wrap it up. It needs to go beyond that. Yes, Dorothy, looking for someone in the daytime with a flashlight. Like if I have to come to that, then no, absolutely not. But anyway, so we
with a flashlight.
Yeah, that was a great little part right there.
All right. Oh yeah, that's my thought on that.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, just along the lines of crazy and what people should be doing with their relationships, for me, it just reminds me of Lauren London and how a whole rumor about her being pregnant sparked a debate about if she left Nipsey Hussle too soon. And I'm not, rest in peace, but he's gone now. First, it's a rumor, just to be clear. She isn't pregnant, apparently. But if it was real and she found love and was pregnant, how soon is too soon? If your partner has passed on, how soon is too soon for that?
I don't think there is a time frame when that person's ready. I mean, you don't know when you're gonna run into somebody at the grocery store or whatever gas station that you're gonna vibe with. I just feel like when she's ready, and people tend to put their own, what they feel like how long it should take on people. I don't, they weren't even married. I know that they had a wonderful relationship, but I just say when she's ready. And if she is or was pregnant, great job at moving on and trying to create some normalcy back in your life.
So I wonder what the issue is. Are they questioning whether she loved him? Or are they questioning whether this person was in place before he died? I wonder, what's the issue with her moving on? Because it's been over a year, right? It's
right,
been
right.
over.
Oh. Nosy people, probably all the above.
Yeah.
I think it's sometimes actually it may have been longer than a year, but the key is that with Nipsey, because of his notoriety and death, because honestly, I heard of him and I listened to his music while he was still alive. And I was like, you know what? I like some of this, but it's not really for me. But I felt like after he died, there were hella people all over, like, oh my God, he's the best artist ever. I was like, where were y'all? Y'all weren't listening to him. So I just think when she was married to him, once he passed, she was thrust into the spotlight. And we all know who she is. She's been around for a minute. Yeah. But they were like, look at her. Every woman should be like her. Yes, she's holding it down after he died, right? And now the rumor comes, because really it's about rumors and how dangerous they are, that she's pregnant, and suddenly that has changed. She wasn't loyal to him when he passed. Now she's a bad person because she could be with somebody new.
Because she's moved on with her life. Right.
And the fact of the matter is that she hasn't. Well, I don't know. She's not pregnant. Like because she did come out and say that she's not pregnant. But I think that people need to mind their business, and whether she is with someone, where she has a companion, or whatever the case may be, mind your dang on business. Because there's a lot of people out here who, again, y'all know how I feel about it. You still got a whole somebody living in your house and you sleep with somebody else. Like, stop. Cut it out. Like, mind your business. Mind your business. So,
yeah. What do you think, Chanel?
I'm happy for her. So let's say Lauren London was in a relationship, and let's just say that person may have known Nipsey. So this goes into my little topic here. So I was reading an article, and the title of the article was, "Is it ever okay to date your friend's ex-husband, ex-boyfriend? Is it ever okay?" So the way this article read, and paraphrasing and making it short, is the ex-wife ended up giving her best friend and her ex-husband her blessing. And they had been divorced for 8 years. So some time had passed, healing had, everybody had healed. But so best friend sat her down one day and was like, I have to tell you something. And she was like, what? You're not going to like it. Okay, what is it? Well, me and John are in a relationship. So it took her a while to come to terms with it, but she eventually gave her blessing. They had been divorced for 8 years. So my question is it ever okay? Under what circumstances would it be okay? one of my Facebook friends that posed a question a couple weeks ago, is your soulmate married to somebody else? We all know people that marry for other reasons or whatever the case may be. So, what are your thoughts? Is it ever okay to date a relative, friend, ex-boyfriend, ex-wife, ex-husband? What do you think?
Okay, let's just for a second. Let's just take a look at all of your friends. I just think it's weird as hell. First, okay, okay. That was my one cuss word for the night because somebody told me that. So I just think it's weird. First of all, but like, just look at your friends. Like when I look at my friends, like I wouldn't want to date they're currently the people that I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with any of my friends. And I'm quite sure that some of my friends have told me things about their people. Like I don't want, like that would just be weird to me. That would just be weird.
And mind you, she was a bridesmaid at the wedding.
That would just be a no for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think I've changed over the years. Back when I was in high school, I mean, I saw a bunch of friends dating within friend groups, and I thought it was all right, but really it's because back in high school, none of that was serious. Yeah, and I just feel like once you get past that point, if you didn't already know each other in high school, like if my friend dated a girl I dated in 7th grade and then they ended up getting married, okay, fine. I mean, that wasn't serious, but if any of my friends just were like, oh yeah, I met your ex at a bar and we hit it off, I'm like, man, we almost 30. Like, you're like, you heard how I vented about her. Like, nah, it's like we just realized I can't be around y'all anymore. You know what I mean? I don't think it's okay after a certain point.
All right, Will.
Oh my God. That is exactly why one man's trash is another man's treasure. I see absolutely no problem with it. I've done it. My last relationship was 16 years. He was dating my best friend. And, I realized it wasn't going nowhere. He realized, it wasn't even serious for them. It was no issue at all. I think it definitely takes mature people in the situation. It definitely takes there being, if it's a relationship that ended, there needs to be a punctuation, a period. Nobody's still trying to get with the ex. But, if you don't date them, somebody else is going to date them. So what's the purpose? I don't understand there being, people tripping saying, because I dated this person so many years ago, they're off limits. Just because your chemistry is off, just because things that work between you and that person, why should these two people who possibly have something in common are doing something that they enjoy or, feelings are grown, why should they exclude themselves just because y'all used to date? I think that's stupid. I think it's immature. People who don't, I think one of the viewers said something and I just heard insecurity with what I read. That's just how I feel about it.
For me, it's just like, aside from all that, like, if it's something that you'd have told me something about that person, like, I just can't move past that. Like, I don't want to know. And that's why I never talk about my husband. And like when people try to talk about their boy, like I be like, don't like, yeah, no, because y'all like, no, like I don't want to know that part about you and your person. Like, don't tell me that because it's just weird. It's weird anyway. Like if y'all all in the same room. Anyway, if you're not trying to, it's just weird to me. Like, don't tell me stuff. And then you looking and you.
Well, what does weird mean? What does it mean?
Like, okay, like if you said something like bedroom related about your significant other, and then you told me and we all in the same room, and I'm just like, oh my God, like this is awkward. This is weird. Like I just don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel the feeling of like I know this about you.
You try to up your game.
Huh?
You try to up your game. You already got the inside deets. You try to up your game.
Oh my God.
I can see that. I think it's really with parameters.
That's an advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think there's truth to that because if, like I said, it really depends on the relationship. If it was like a real bad breakup, then that's going to be a problem. If it's like, man, I got to see this person with you, and it was a real bad breakup. But if it was okay and things weren't really going right, and it just was like it didn't work out, and then they hit it off, I don't know if I'd be mad about it as long as it wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah,
like
nothing stories, nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But just because y'all didn't work out, okay. All right.
I think I agree with Will though. You got so many people that are together that shouldn't be together, you know.
Yeah.
And if they get together and figure out that they shouldn't be together, but then you might have a great connection over here, why would you just say no because they made the wrong decision and got together before you? I don't know. I think.
Well, did anybody say anything in the comments?
Okay, so Kia says she loves your perspective. Kiara, okay, so Shelly says it's a hard no. If I go back up, Kiara said, okay, Michelle said if everyone is okay with it, why trip? Kiara said no because how long was you liking John while I was in a relationship with John? Before y'all decided.
I think that's an important question, right?
I mean, it's yeah. And then now you know for a fact you wouldn't want someone your homie has smashed.
And has.
I wouldn't. Amy said I wouldn't. But each his
The
own.
area not that big. We got the same taste. You know, it's bound to happen. And what I'm gonna do? Go down this list. Let me go down this list. Do you know any of these people?
Oh yeah, that'd be
You know
cool.
your friend, like even if you know your friend, like what if it's I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I you know what? I'm not gonna say no, but I'm not gonna say yes either. Like I just for me in my heart, I'm saying no. But
I'm with you, Shanika.
Bless your hearts. All right, well, let's move on. You know, earlier, Michelle had said something about double standards. So again, I have, being that it's a relationship Valentine's Day, the day after Chronicles. So this is the situation. My girlfriend of 6 months has been out of work for the past 2 weeks, and she just got word that she would be laid off permanently. She asked me if she could move. She offered to pay half the bills. I declined. She then proceeded to ask me, could I pay her rent for the next month? I told her that I'm uncomfortable doing things that a husband should do for my girlfriend, but I told her that she could borrow $300. She says that I'm wrong for not helping her out during her time of need, but that isn't the case in my perspective. She says that she isn't sure that she wants to continue dating me as a result. So do you think that he is wrong for doing this? Is this a case of like reverse double standard? Because most people would expect that, you know, if it was a girl or the guy to just let her in. But this is the guy saying, no, the girl can't stay there. He's not ready, you know, to take any live-ins. He's not willing to do things that a husband should be doing for his girlfriend. So is he wrong?
what do y'all think? Is he wrong for telling her, is this a double standard? The kid said, girl, about it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is different. I mean, especially since they're not married, it sounds like what he's saying is what we always see on the internet, right? You know, but from the other way around, that is strange. I think it is kind of a weird double standard.
So Dorothy's saying see ya. She's saying, so should he be saying see ya or she should be saying see ya? And then I want to know if he was coming to her, do you think she should take him in or what? I think that's
okay. First of all, I do not think he's wrong. First of all, I don't think he's wrong, and although he referenced her as his girlfriend, she's not his girlfriend. I also think that if it was the other way around, just from history, I do think that as a woman that she probably would allow him to move in with her because she would view him as being her man. But I think that women should also have the same amount of standards, if you will, the same amount of standards that men have. Because I think that if that was his take, like I think that's something that a husband does. I think I give it to you, but you're borrowing it and you need to give it back. I think that if we also took on those, I think that he knows his value, and we as women should also understand our value and not be so easy to say, okay, yeah, you can come and live with me, or I'll give it to you. It's no problem because you my man. Because first of all, I think that that's a conversation, or you need to understand your worth and your value. You know, if it comes to this, then why would you? You know, you're not. That's not your boyfriend. That's your friend that you're having sex with. So for friends with benefits, that's what it is. Because if he doesn't see you, he's just having you around until he meets Miss Right. And right now, you are not it.
And
So
I mean,
I don't think that he was wrong. I just think that women need to stop putting labels on men or people or partners or people they're in relationships with or thinking they're in relationships with. Stop labeling them and giving them these labels that they really don't have, because we quick to first weekend what or first couple of days, hey boo, hey babe, I'm calling babe, I'm calling boo. So you already giving him a label. No, call him or her by his name, his or her name. It's quick to move into that. And then, you're giving him labels, him or her labels that they don't really want. So I don't think it's
yeah, I just think this sounds like the perfect man for a lot of women out there. Somebody who's like, I don't think that I shouldn't do that for my girlfriend. I'm like, dang, like that's mature. A lot of guys out here will be like, nah, you can't live with me. Like, just say it straight up like that without any explanation about his future plans with her. A lot of guys would be like, I mean, you could stay on the couch, but I'm going to need half for rent. I just can't. The fact that he even brought up marriage shows that he has a future idea plan for himself, whether that be a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, or whatever. Yeah. I think a lot of women should find that attractive.
Well, I guess I wouldn't do it. I'm like everybody in the chat. They're saying goodbye, see you. I would be the same way.
You would leave?
I would expect him to do the same thing. Like, I'm gonna need you to put your big girl panties on and handle your business. I mean, we're not paying rent here. We're not ready to do that. And if I was in a relationship or a situationship, as Shanika could say, or a non-label ship, and if a man came up and asked me that, I would say, no, we're not doing that.
A hobosexual?
Yeah, we're not doing that. So I don't think he's wrong at all. I don't think he's wrong. And if she's offended by it, then he need a new prospect.
And I believe he does have other prospects. That's why he said that's husband activity, and that I don't want to share my space with you. Mm-hmm. Because
let me ask you this. So think on the word entitlement. Do you think in society, in this type of situation, a woman would feel more entitled for her man to say yes? Or Shanika, from what you were saying, do you think a man would feel more entitled for his woman to say yes? I think that a woman would feel more entitled for a man. She would just automatically assume that
he's going to say yes.
A woman would probably automatically expect that he should go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Right.
I agree with that. I mean, specifically because a lot of women, I'm not saying that this is wrong or right, but a lot of women are like, I'm going to add value to this man's house. Yeah. Because, a lot of men out here living with the one a chair with the TV on the little box, right? The woman's like, I'm going to come in here and change your life. And I'm going to cook for you, So
okay, so the unfortunate thing is I don't know very many men who live on their own that are not, I know a lot of men who live at home with their mama. So.
But you know what? Also,
the military, like young guys. What? Say it again.
I think he may see himself getting stuck. It's hard to get rid of somebody once they move in, and he hasn't made a decision about her yet. He's not going to share space with her. So no, you can't move in here, and I'm not your husband, so no.
Exactly.
Right.
Well said. Well said. All right.
Right.
Where is this? Salamat.
All right. So.
Katrina said, "Where is he?" That's right. A man who's taking his business serious, right?
Right. Exactly. All right. So I want to just for a second, because we're all into the Valentine's Day, and I think I won't take anybody else's. I'll do mine. I really quick. My topics are kind of serious this week because I want to know: have any of you all ever been a victim of an online predator? This week, within the last couple of weeks, a person that I know fell victim to an online predator, and she was a teenager, and she was lured out of her home and was taken advantage of. And so I just want to know and want people to understand how serious it is. And I think all of everything that I'm talking about is about young adults or teenagers into young adults, and what it looks like for somebody to be taking advantage of you or pretending to be somebody that they are not, and you being taken advantage of. So has anybody knows anybody who has been taken advantage of or been lured in by an online predator? No.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
What,
We're
is she
talking about
okay?
like for
Is your the person you know, are they okay?
She is not. I mean, I don't know who. They're still investigating on what happened and things like that. But it was a very scary situation, and I had to go back to my own child and say, like, what kept you from being lured in by online people?
What did she say?
I'm sorry.
Like, what
Yeah,
what was your daughter's response when you asked
She
her that?
was like, I was just too scared. She's like, Mom, but our house shut down. Our house shut down at 9:30, 10 o'clock. My husband is on it. He's setting the alarm. Nobody, like, I even have to say to him, like, so you just shutting everybody in. Like, you can't nobody go nowhere. Like, and I have to remind him, like, okay, I'm still an adult. Like, I'm an adult. Like, you can't just be locking us in here like we, like home, like, no. But she was just like, it was no out. Like, it was no out. After 9:30, like 10 o'clock, my husband set an alarm. And if that alarm went off, we know if anybody opened up the door or any of that. So it wasn't, it's just, it was just scary. It was just very scary. And I'm just like, let's go back up. Like the prevention of it all. That's my biggest thing is just watching what your children are doing online. And like, when do you think is too soon to have a cell phone? Because I have a couple of my friends whose daughters are coming up on like 12 and 13 and they want cell phones. Like, when do you think is an appropriate time for a child to get a cell phone?
Oh man, I mean, honestly, although I haven't been approached by a predator, at least that I recognized, I would just say, like, times are changing really fast. And I mean, for me, when I was growing up, the cell phones were all flip phones. So it wasn't like it was cool if you had one, but I mean, you could really only do so much with it. But then, like, just a few years later, my baby sister wanted a phone, and it was like she was elementary school age, and all of her friends wanted phones because parents were like, we need to be able to contact you. And now you can track people. You could track kids where they are with their phones. So I think, honestly, as long as you set up the parental controls on the phone and you are really involved with your child's life, they can safely have a phone and you can control the whole thing remotely. So I think, early is fine as long as you're using it the way it's supposed to be used.
I agree with that. I agree. My niece, she's 9 and she has an iPhone, but like Amir said, her father and mother set the parental controls. It's taken from her at a certain time of night, this bedtime. And long as you do that, it's safe. But we do live in a world now where, school shootings and all this stuff, and people need to be able to get in contact with their children. I understand that. But in response to Shanika, prevention and education is key. I have 2 teenagers, and we haven't had any issues with social predators, and they've had phones since they were about 10 and 11 years old. But it's all education.
Yeah, another thing to consider, unfortunately, media kind of makes it seem like it's the bad guy in the shadows. Like, the Dateline NBC with I was in the chat room and I'm here to meet this little girl. And then Chris Hansen comes out, whatever his name is. Like, do you know why you're here? So, I mean, like, we kind of have that idea, but then it's really, the girl's in high school and she's talking to a college aged guy. Right. Mm-hmm. And then like, you think it's all good, but they hanging around high school. And when I was in high school, I didn't know they were predators, but I knew girls who were dating guys who had graduated high school. And I was like, this doesn't seem right. But, what am I going to, I was a little kid. I didn't know what exactly was going on. But after I got out, I was like, man, I could never date a girl in high school, and that was me right after I graduated high school. Like, no way. Like, that is a totally different mindset. So I'm like, I'm questioning them unless they were dating and they were like junior, senior year, sophomore, and then he graduated and they were still dating. I guess, but
Mm.
that's not what I saw. Most of the people met them after they had
Right,
graduated.
right.
So I think those are the people you need to watch out for more so than the random chat, which you still should watch for. But there's also local people who are closer to you than you think.
Right. So just be mindful, guys. If you're not, every now and again, because I remember one time I asked my daughter for her phone, and she just looked at me, and and I could literally like see her heart pounding. And I'm like, well, what's in there? Like, what's in the phone? Why is your heart pounding so hard, girl? Like, what's in this phone? Now I really want the phone. So give me the phone. So I just think
Right.
that every now and again you have to pull that phone and say, let me see it. Let me see what's in that phone. Let me see who you're texting. Let me see who's talking to you. And I constantly kept on my daughter, like, just because you have a mutual friend with somebody, that doesn't make them your friend. That just makes the person that they know. Like, I don't, that was the biggest thing that I used to say to her. It doesn't make this person your friend because y'all have a mutual friend or because they know somebody that you know. It doesn't matter. They slide in your DM. They're still a stranger. Stranger danger is how I feel. They still a stranger. You don't know them. You don't know anything about them. You're just going off the strength that they know somebody that you know. So, you just have to be mindful, and you just have to always, advocate for your children and push the issue. Like, give me the phone. Look at even the little babies who playing with these little games on the phone and all these little games. Still, because predators can sleep in there, and they think, they think it's another like 5 or 6 year old child. And it's not.
Sorry to laugh there, Shanika.
Like, what happened, y'all? What happened?
The comment right here. Nathan put it on.
Wait, I will.
He'll throw his phone down the toilet before he gives it to his mom. I saw it right in the middle of your talk there. I saw that.
You know what, Nathan? All right. And so Marie says the kids are also in group chats with other kids who aren't really kids. Exactly. Dorothy says parents need to keep up with the codes that young people are using. Right. And there is an app. I don't know if it's an app, but I know that there is on somewhere you can find all the little code names and things like that. I think maybe if you Google codes, you can find all the little code names that kids use that actually mean something else. Like, even if it's colors, but they actually mean other things. So it's a lot. It's a lot to have to keep up with. So you just want to make sure that you're monitoring your children.
And let me make this one comment, and I don't know how it's going to go over with people, but I'm just going to say it. Oftentimes, parents are reluctant to look within, and I'm going to just put it out there. And a lot of these girls that get caught up in these situations, what are they looking for from these people and in these chats?
Yes.
What are they looking for? I mean, a lot of parents are reluctant to look at their parenting and what's missing, and I think that needs to be addressed because not all teen girls or young girls are doing that. So what are they looking for? What are they gaining from these connections and these interactions that maybe something may be lacking over here at home? And I mean, that's the real discussion that need to be made. What are they looking for?
Right. And all they want is a conversation. They just want to have a conversation with you. They want to talk to you. They want to, and this, this is a whole nother conversation for another day. But, I just made it very clear to my daughter, like, you can talk to me about anything, and I think that sometimes parents get afraid to, talk to their kids about anything. But, you have to have that door open. You have to have that line of communication open that they can come to you about anything. And you have to set time up for them. And that's what I have to do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's really tough out there for parents. And as a new parent, I just hope I can really be involved in my daughter's life and my future kids as well. In the meantime, let's kind of switch it up, bring it back to Valentine's Day as we're all wearing red. Shanika, you got the hearts on your hat. And for me, my question is, who's really responsible for planning Valentine's Day? Did you do something romantic for your partner, or do you just let God kind of let you find something on the same day, to figure something out really fast?
Well, I'm gonna let you ask that because you know what I need. I did for myself.
I mean, Chanel, why don't you just say who do you think if we were to go just by? Is it always one person or?
Mutual. I think it should be mutual because I had a situation where I was dating a guy, and I didn't get him anything for Valentine's Day. And I felt really bad about it when I got my stuff. And then I was like, well, I felt bad. Like, I could have done something, you know. But we are taught as young kids, you know, when you get the balloons and the teddy bear at school, guys don't usually walk around with those things. So, you know, we kind of taught that it's for girls. But in my adult life, I realized that no, I think it should be both ways. I think both people should love on each other. I particularly prefer for us to decide if we're exchanging gifts so that neither person feel like, okay, is she or is he? But I do think it's mutual. I think both people should come out on top Valentine's Day. I will never do that again. If I ever decide to exchange gifts, both of us are going to come out on top Valentine's Day. Mistake on my part.
That's a smart move, honestly, because I would do that. Well,
yeah. Well, I feel it. I've never even thought it was one way. No time in my life. But this is what, not to change your question, but to add on to your question, this is what threw me for a loop this year. So many people who I'm not sleeping with thought that they were supposed to get a Valentine's Day gift. Like the girl who's on the chat now, Paula Beckett, who's like, where's my gift? I'm like, dude, I'm not sleeping with you. You're not my spouse. So is Valentine's Day not just for your romantic other? Is it supposed to be for every girl you know, or your sisters and your aunt? I've never given my mom anything. That's my dad's job.
That's a great addition. Yeah, is it just for a romantic partner or for you to spread love across the board?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? When I thought about that, I thought about some of my friends who are not in relationships with people, and
not really your problem.
Well, okay, but that's okay. First of all, let's back it up.
You're overstepping.
Let me just say that my love language is gift giving. So I love giving gifts and I love receiving gifts. But I thought about it. I thought about my friends during this time who are not in relationships with people. And you know, I just as a friend gesture, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with friend gestures. I don't think
that's a sympathy gift. I don't know if that's
said it is for people you are sleeping with, period.
Exactly.
His answer is irrelevant. I need somebody.
I would like
they used to be broke if that's the case.
Like, yeah, because for me, I think it's I mean, maybe it's too simple to say what someone you're sleeping with, but in general, right? I mean, from when I was growing up, it was, will you be my Valentine? You know, like you're choosing this person to spend it with, and that's who you give it to. I couldn't imagine. I have plenty of friends who are single. You know, I couldn't even imagine sending them a whole gift for Valentine's Day with my wife. Like, I don't know. I mean, I would think they would think it was weird. Like, oh, thanks, Amir. Aren't you married? You know, like, what's up? That'd be weird for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so would you, let's say you weren't in a relationship, or what about you, Will, Shanika, and you're just dating people, you know, you're not in a relationship and you're just dating people, and some of those people, or a couple of those people, of course, with protection, you are sleeping with. Do they get Valentine's Day?
Yes, they all get the same gift. I bought them in bulk, and you know, I've that before. Yeah.
See, well, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, okay, I'm buying a dozen of
I need 5 of these.
Them up. Everybody about to get out 3 pieces.
We're saying you need 5 of these, 5 of those.
I need 5 of these cards.
Now, you know, Fabian, my wife, actually brought that up about moms. And I can see that, like, you know, if I thought about it, you know, I wouldn't be against giving my mom a Valentine's Day card. But I just, you know, I'm spending it with my wife, my significant other, and that was it with my past girlfriends as well. Like, that's my Valentine. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know, y'all. Michelle says the only person other than I acknowledge is my mom because she is single and I love her. I give her flowers.
Oh, nice.
Kiana said, Will is a
The bulk gifts.
Hey, I'm rude.
Will, that wasn't smash.
You gotta go through. Yeah.
Bobby said not the bulk gift, and then no. Wait a minute. Oh yeah. Well, both of them said not bulk, and then Kiana said it was the bulk buying for me.
Yeah, that was funny, man.
One of them both.
Go to the dollar.
Yeah.
For 100.
Okay. Okay, so look, you guys. So I had a stick girl who planned Valentine's Day with her boo, but they were going to their separate homes after the date. And she explained to me that it's because she needs to have a sex talk with him about, what she likes, pleasing him, pleasing her, and she didn't know how to do it. So she didn't want to have a good dinner and then have it ruined by a bad night in the bedroom.
Oh,
So
First of all,
I'm just thinking.
How do you have these conversations? How do you bring it up? How do you
first of all,
discuss?
if I got to tell, if this is a conversation, we friends.
What do you really like that person though? I mean, how do you have this conversation? She literally scrapped plan B or part B of the date because she didn't want an amazing dinner ruined by like.
No strap part B. You have a stand-in for part B. Yeah. You get sick during dinner, and we're just going to end the night. I'm going to call you tomorrow. And the one that going to put it down, come over for part B.
Okay, so she's already been intimate with this guy. She's already.
You know it's bad.
She's been, and she has been let down before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, the one thing that
aside from that, she likes him. That's why they had the dinner.
Okay, well, I don't believe in wasted orgasms. I'm sorry, I just don't.
And she didn't either. That's why she didn't was saying like no to part B.
Call me after this and be like, "Child, please."
That's weak.
Yeah, I think she made a smart decision, honestly, to scrap it. But to have the talk, I mean, especially for women, I feel bad for y'all because I feel like you can't really be that honest without the men getting a ego, like, the ego hurt. And even if it's something small, like, I prefer you to lick it this way.
Ooh.
And then it's like, what? I'm not doing it right. I can see, I feel like
the tip.
I thought we were uncut.
Use the tip.
I'm just saying, right? I feel like men get to say what we want.
All right. Unfiltered.
Right? I just think men get to say what we want. Like, I don't like this.
But how many people do that? How many people tell them what you like? Can we say that? Yeah. We had that conversation tonight. I read something. I was like, no, I never asked you that question. How many people actually tell your partner what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy? Because guys, I just think I'm good at it and anything goes and that you're going to like what I do. And they may not. They may say, I like when you do this. I don't like when you do that. How many people will be strong enough or mature enough to have that conversation?
Because I think that it's more often, because I think that if you are doing something to a guy, he has no problems to be like, I don't like that. That makes me uncomfortable. Because there's certain things, like if you are into biting and you go to bite him and he's like, I don't really like that. Don't do that. So why can't you say, okay, listen, I enjoy being with you, but if can I just tell you or just guide you a little bit? And some guys don't like it, but I feel like if you are into pleasing me, then you will be willing to listen to it. And then you have to think that depending on who he or she was with before you, they learn how to please that person. You are not that person. And that's where that conversation is. You're not that person. You learn how to have sex with that person. Now you're going to learn how to have sex with me. And I'm going to teach you, or either we going to chuck your ass to do those two. Chuck you to
Okay. I gave my friend some advice one time, and it works for me. I'm personally, I don't want to have that conversation because, like Amir said, you get into the ego situation. Is it going to be awkward the next time we see each other? So I find that steering people in the right direction during is easier for a man to. It's easier for a man to receive that. So hopefully he's listening while and will be able to replicate that the next time.
So you don't say anything. You don't say go to the left or go to the or like okay
during, because it can be done in a very feminine,
sensual,
sultry,
yeah.
sexy kind of way. And you hope that he's a good communicator and he listens. So, I mean, because I don't know how many men would take this, okay, let's sit down at the table. So you're
comments
and I need you to do it this way. I don't know how many men is going to really receive that. So if you kind of steer, hopefully they listen and, replicate the next time. It works for me.
I think that's great advice, honestly, because I think that's true. I think the guy is so focused on enjoying the sex that if he hears it during the sex, he's not going to sit there and think about his ego, especially if, like you said, in a feminine way, right? I think I know what you mean by that. To kind of say, like, yeah, as long as it sounds like she's still enjoying it, but she'll enjoy it more if you were to do this adjustment, right? Then I think that a lot of guys' egos.
Oh my gosh. Can we go back? Nate says, child, you either come when I come or you come when I come.
What did he say?
Oh, man.
You either come when I come or you come when I come back.
He ain't lying. Go ahead. What's the next one?
Okay. Fabia says that's going to be a problem later on. She needs to talk to him before Valentine's.
Yeah.
Says I do, and y'all know what that part means.
Nate said, "Ain't nobody listening during sex." I don't agree, Nate.
I don't agree either. Depends on how close you are to his ear. You listen.
Because if you don't listen to me, we scratching a record.
Right.
It might be hard to hear if you're doing what Michelle had just mentioned.
Right. Oh my God.
Just saying.
Oh my God. My mama said, just be honest. Wait, my mama said, just be honest. Kiana said, period. Shanika. Michelle just got a whole bunch of eggplants.
Yeah. That part.
Okay, Nate says, right. And then Michelle said, that part, Nate. Like, y'all. Oh, then wait. And then my mama said, what did she say? Slide to the right, slide to the left. Now cross. See, and then she be telling me how to act. See what I'm saying? Where I get it from? All righty, that was good. That was good, y'all.
So we're going somewhere else?
No, this was great. Thank you, Shanika, for the idea of our Valentine's Day extended show.
Yeah.
You want to take us out?
Go ahead, Chanel.
Well, you guys, we just want to thank you for tuning into the chat tonight. We enjoyed the amazing conversations. And please do not forget to tune in next week, like and share, and join us in conversation. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.